Toshika Yosha, a once nationally recognized soccer player, is now a first-year student at Nuki High School. Due to his developed hatred for sports, he has abandoned the previous aspiration to become a famous live streamer on the internet instead. One day, Suma Akazumi, a first-year on the Kabaddi team, seeks to recruit Yosuke and simultaneously interrupt his live stream. Without any expectation, Yorishi follows Suma to the school gym, where he witnessed second-year Kohiya Miza and Shinade engage in a primal contact sport of kanabet. Despite ridiculing the rules of play, Yogisha is stunned by the intensity of the round. Because of an eccentric deal and slight coarseness, he agrees to sell the prospect of his recruitment through the most invigorating way, a battle anime, a teen sport playing empty-handed. This anime has about 12 episodes. It premiered April 3rd, 2021 to June 19th, 2021. Based on a popular web manga comic, it is comedy, sports. Each episode is 23 minutes per episode and rated PG-13. Let's get started into the review.
How I would describe Burning Kaname, basically think of the combination of rugby and tag. Because like watching the playthrough of this and like the style of how the sport is actually competed, it just reminded me of the combination of those two sports, like rugby and tag. But I feel like with Kaname, I haven't seen it before, but I heard it's very popular in South Asia, particularly in the Indian subcategory, where a lot of kids play it during the summer. And I think for Kaname to be officially recognized as a national sport, it's like really cool. I think also it's really seen besides the continent of Asia. But what I really like about it, that about this animated show, what the sport actually is, and I feel like with Burning Kaname, it does a really good job at explaining the sport, the fundamentals, the rules, the ins and out, and like what each player does. I think overall for it, it does take a rather slow pacing to the story as it becomes to explain the progression of the plot. But even though it does it very effectively, where you're not lost in emotion, you're explaining every little detail of the characters, the plot from the beginning to the very end. Also, the first couple episodes takes time to discuss the very basics of the sports in the real economy, which I thought was really clever, since many viewers will be, including myself, fairly new to the sport, and trying to properly introduce this to sport everyone to understand was very solid. I think overall the demonstration was very bam in your face, and I think with the explaining of the rules was very simple to understand, especially with a new sport that not many of us are not used to seeing for him. Especially for me, I thought it was a very interesting take on it. Overall, they displayed this new sport to me in particular very well, very knowledgeable, and it read well as the sport, to understand the dynamic of how it works, how the people and characters behave. Especially combat, it doesn't simply rely on strength with this sport and agility. I think it doesn't require much strategy, but you do have to counteract strength. And they are the two crucial factors in the sport, which players need to improve on constantly. You see them trying to improve on their strength and agility in each practice that they do, each match that they compete in. So, with that being said, there are many more aspects to consider when watching this, especially in the initial idea of Kanebe, when it isn't just strictly based on strength and agility. It's also about, incisive thinking, comes of cleverness, and also the skill and tactics that are required to learn to balance, because you lose your balance, then you lose a point for your team. But if you're able to turn, if you trip, be able to think quick on your feet to make sure your team doesn't lose that point, and also maintain your balance and then turning the match around, which I thought was really done really well. Now, going off that, I feel like the Kanabe, the characters themselves, they have a unique how do I say this? A unique, counteract to how they're supposed to connect with one another, and form sure that along with it, how they tend to grow as a team. But that thought worked really well, because with Kanebe, you kind of combat your teammates. We have the raider or their supporting teammates to help that. And I think overall, what's really unique and interesting how they all deal with the struggles that they need to improve as a team, whether they be individual, their strengths and weaknesses, and how to improve that. Especially their captain. Their captain took me for a loop. This guy right here with the purple hair, his how he plays Kanebe is very impressive, but it kind of freaked me out, but in a good way. I can't explain what he does. You just have to watch the watch the anime to delve more into the teammates and their background, personality, and how they got into the sport to begin with. But overall, it was a very strong sport anime that I really liked watching, and it was a completely new sport for me. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I give this anime a 10 out of 10. I do wish they bring it back, but there's no telling. But I really thoroughly enjoyed the anime. Definitely check out Burning Economy, have it for yourself, and let me know what you think. But until then, bye.